We'll just take a couple of moments here to arrive fully. So to drop the awareness down to the parts of the body making connection to the ground. Inviting a softness to come in through the front body. The skin of the face, the throat, the heart, the belly, the hips, and the legs and the feet. And just notice the natural rhythm of your breath. You might even bring your hands to rest somewhere on the belly or the chest for a bit more of that feedback so that you can stay present with it. And really slowly, maybe over the course of 5 to 10 rounds and cycles of breathing, you'll deepen the breath. So each inhale, you're just inviting a little bit more depth than the one before. Letting it be like a wave. The inhale starts in the low belly and rises, fills, and swells all the way up to the collarbones, to the upper back. And on the exhale, the wave descends back down. Keeping your inhales very open, very spacious. On the exhale, you can start to activate Ujjayi pranayama. But just on the exhale, that light restriction at the back of the throat. We're going to take a little time here to drop into the heart space. You can kind of let the breath continue on its own. Bring your awareness, bring your energy down into your heart. And start to invite the qualities of almost childlike wonder. We don't have to worry about being realistic or these limitations or barriers to the things that we want. So we're underneath still in that energy of Sagittarius, new moon. And it's all about our vision, it's about expansion. It can be kind of dreamy, almost like Pisces is. So we're going to play a little bit with your dreams and your visions. It's the last new moon of the year. And so if there was no limitations, no barriers, money, time, you had all the access, all the components you needed for your dream to come true, what would your dream be? What is your dream? How are you living? What are you doing? Where are you? And who are you with? So let yourself have a little fun there. Getting really detailed in your mind. Imagining that you're doing and living that out right now. Again, let it be really big. Let it be wild. Just expand into all of the possibilities. Without worrying how. And we don't have to worry how it's going to happen right now. Just get to imagine and hold that big vision. Take a big breath in. Sigh. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Full body stretch. And slowly hug one knee into the chest at a time and wrap your arms around your legs. And give yourself a hug. If you want to rock a little left and right, you can. Like creating this massage. And imagine that you're releasing any of the worries or the stress that you might be carrying in the body or the mind. And we'll bring the palms to cup right onto the knees. Maybe just even take an extra moment and notice just how you fit. And your palms just kind of fit so nicely right onto your knees. And then you're going to draw opposite circles. So the left knee is guided out to the left, right knee out to the right, and you just start to make these big slow circles where you're letting the hands do at least half of the work, if not more. And feel that massage and that opening that gets to happen in the low back and the hips. And this is where we're releasing any fears, any insecurity, any instability. And then pause next time the knees are together at the chest, and we'll reverse the movement. So bring them together away from you through center, and then left knee out to the left, right knee out to the right, and start your circles the other way. Just kind of tuning into the elements of earth and water here. Kind of accessing both those lower chakras. And again, we're just trusting that these movements are helping us release anything stuck or stagnant, anything that's not serving our highest good. Go ahead and lengthen the legs when you're ready, straight up to the sky. Arms come up too for dead bug. And you can point the toes or flex the toes more towards the shins. And then you can point them. You might even try to curl the toes under. Feel the stretch through the fronts and tops of the shins and the feet. And just play there. You can bring a similar movement in through the wrists as well. And then roll ankles and wrists. And you can be kind of spreading the toes wide here too. And take a big breath in. Imagine the breath can reach the tips of the fingers and the toes. And exhale, it flushes out. The limbs slowly come to the ground, and we'll come to supported bridge. You'll just lift the hips high enough to glide the block underneath that low back, that sacrum, and really tuck your tailbone as much as you can. Exaggerate that as you set the hips down. The feet might walk a little further towards the top of the mat, just a little more spacious there. Just get yourself to a place, get any of those little adjustments out, that you feel really settled here. And just be dense with presence through the feet. And through the hips. The connection to the ground. Just really inviting in that stability. That's that energy of the earth. It's nurturing, it's stable, it's safe. And we're inviting in so that we can become an energetic match with that, so that we are also feeling that within ourselves. Because all the dreams and the hopes and the wishes of the future can't happen if we're not grounded and steady first. Take another breath into that. Focus on the feet and the hips and the ground beneath you. And then really slow, you're going to start to move the knees more to the right and then more to the left. So that we again create this massage to the low back into the block. And you can start to make the movements bigger if you'd like. Listen to your body. And we're just encouraging a release here. Anything stored, old stories or beliefs. Again, the mind doesn't have to understand necessarily what's happening. We just trust that the postures are supporting us in that way. And if you want, you can even choose to bring the knees into the chest and rock there. You get a little bit more pressure. You can really get into any tension, anything stuck a little bit more this way. Notice if any tension creeps in through the face or the jaw. And then we'll keep the right knee hugging in and lengthen that left leg long on your mat. And imagine you can glide your left heel more towards the front of the space. Left toes are trying to touch the shin. And then you can hug the right knee in. Now we're creating a reach through the left leg, left foot, and we're drawing in with the right knee. Try to breathe deep into the base of the spine, the pelvic floor, and the low belly here. You gently release and find the shape on the other side. So you start to energize that right leg long, right heels gliding, reaching forward as the left knee comes into the chest. And focus on your breathing here. Big, expansive inhales and that Ujjayi soothing exhale. The exhales carry away the worries, the stress, the fears, the doubts. And the inhales invite in that expanse. that freedom, that openness, that potential, the possibilities and the hopes. And gently release, bending the knees, plant the feet. Lift the hips. Take the block out and just nice and slow, let the hips come down. We'll roll over to the left side. Let that left upper arm be like a little pillow for your head. And just pause there for a moment. I'm going to soak in some gratitude here. Let it be an inward reflection. So what are you most grateful for about yourself? Just showering yourself with love, with affection, with appreciation. Can even be in context to this whole year that's coming to a close. What have you moved through this year that you're really grateful and proud of? And keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft, we'll press up and come to sit. And again, we'll find that nice connection of the palms to the knees. And we'll start to rise up now from those lower chakras, and we're going to bring circles through the upper body. And you're trying to find this cat and cow-like movement through the circles. Inhaling through the forward part of the movement, exhaling through the rounding back part. And then we'll come back through center. We're going to get a little more specific now with the movements and what they symbolize, what they represent. So we're going to go counterclockwise. And as you go counterclockwise, we're releasing. And we're letting go. Almost just like this spiral from the top of the head, this funnel-like energy that you're creating. And it's just clearing and cleansing anything that's not serving your highest good, anything that you don't need. And you're just breathing and moving and trusting that that process is happening. And start to make the movement smaller and smaller until there's just a little stir through your spine. Remembering that your spine is an extension from the heavens above, however you resonate with that, and the earth below us. Okay. We're now going to call in, we're going to invite in, we're going to open up by going clockwise. So this is where we create all that space, and you might hold in your heart and in your mind your dreams. All your hopes and wishes for yourself, for your life. Start to come more through small movements until there's just that stir. Take a big breath in and sweep the arms out and up. Tip the gaze even with the eyes closed and just connect. Open up however you do that, however that resonates with you, and invite that love, invite that abundance and that expansion to come down through the palms that are opened up towards the sky. And let it just wash over you. Hands slowly come down to the heart space, and we're stacking the hands on the heart. Again, bow the mind to the heart. Big breath in, fill it with joy. Sigh.
And then ground down again. Hands just come down to the ground. Bow the head again and just focus on that stability and that strength. And match yourself to it. Okay, tabletop when you're ready. And then just get flowy. Wiggle and sway in any way that feels good. Get into the nooks and the crannies. Almost like your whole body was just made up of water and nothing else. We'll flow a little bit when you're ready through child's pose into tabletop, and you're going to try to wave your spine here. So you're trying to keep a cat-like round through the beginning part of the movement, and then the heels can even lift here. As you then pour and melt the hips forward, you're then trying to find cow. And then as you start to pull back to your child's pose, you're rounding again through that cat spine into child's pose. Just really pay attention to the articulation and the wave coming through your spine, and let your breath flow up and down the wave of the spine as you go. And water's really powerful too. Think about like the big waves, just like flowing water, and the momentum and the currents that it creates. One more time. And then instead of child's pose, it's downward facing dog. Just arrive there. Most likely first downward facing dog of the day. Take some time to just welcome yourself into the shape. And remember that breathing, big, open, expansive inhales. Ujjayi exhales. Next time you inhale, it floats your right leg up. Exhale helps you bend through that right knee and stack the right hip on top of the left. Roll the gaze underneath the right armpit. Wiggle your right toes. And then find lizard. So bringing that right foot outside the right hand. Soften that back knee down to start. Tenting up on the fingertips gives you a bit more height there, or maybe there's blocks coming under the hands. Again, we're going to play with that cat and cow movement of the spine, the wave, that surge as you go through that lizard lunge and half split. Life really is a mind game. Our minds are so powerful. And we need to, for lack of a better word, control them and choose how our mind is going to help us in our life. And create the reality and the life that we want to live instead of being trapped in the mind. Right? We're freeing ourselves. Taking our power back, our potential, becoming rooted and grounded in a sustainable way. Next time you're in your lunge, you'll lift off the back knee. You'll find a little lunge twist here. Left hand stays down, right arm peels up. And here, if you want, you can pivot a little for a hip dip. So the right toes would come out to the right. You'd come to the knife edge of the back foot. And then you can dip the left hip closer to the ground, right arm straight back, and you can shrug that left shoulder up. And then reach back up and out, and we're gonna come all the way to a Skandasana. So hands walk to the left. You're trying to get the right heel down on the ground if you can. Left toes peel up, hands to the heart. You might even gently push, lovingly, right arm into right leg. You might fly the arms. We'll release back into the lunge twist. And then if you want that hip dip, you find that. And we'll play there between those, kind of making them a dance where you're just connecting all those movements in a graceful way. And then next time you're in the lunge twist, we'll start to settle into pigeon. So you can lower the back knee down, start to walk that right foot over to the left side. Right knee softens down. And just make your way into the shape. If you want to lay on the back and find figure four, you can do that too. I have a lot of Sagittarius energy in my personal chart, so it comes very natural to me to ask these questions for you to ask yourself. Like, when did you stop dreaming? Where are you being really practical or realistic in your life? Again, it's not that it's a bad thing. We have to have balance. But is there enough dreaming? Is there enough excitement and expansion and belief and hope for your life? My goodness, we take advantage thinking that we have all the time in the world, and we don't. The only thing that's absolutely sure is that our time is limited. So making it more urgent for you to live a life that's alive and full and wonderful. It doesn't have to mean you need all this money to do all these big things per se. That might be part of your dream. But are you living and alive in the small moments of your day too? Or are you on autopilot? Are you checked out? I saw something the other day about like how much time we sleep for our life, and then the next biggest part was like scrolling or social media or just like electronics in general, that we're just like in screens. Take a big breath in. And let it go. We'll come back through tabletop. Wiggle it out there. If you want vinyasa, you can flow through that too. Eventually we'll come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And just for a moment, drop the awareness to the hands and the feet and enjoy and welcome in that energy. And inhale helps you just float, whoop, the left leg up. Exhale, bend, stack open. Wiggle those left toes. And find your lizard on the other side. Lowering the back knee down. Welcome yourself into the shape. Notice what's present within your body, what sensations are going on. And find that wave-like movement through the half split and the lizard lunge. This song right now is reminding me that a big part of having the big dreams and the hopes is also releasing it out. So that there's not any expectations of like how it has to look or what it's gonna look like. It could be 1,000 times better than we can imagine or dream it up to be. It could unfold differently than our mind is thinking it might. So we have to have this release, this trust, and remember that we're co-creators. Next time you're in the lunge, you'll lift off the back knee, keep the right hand planted, inhale, floats the left arm up, opens the heart, reach up, gaze up. And then if you want that hip dip here, it's the left toe is out to the left, you're pivoting there, knife edge of the back foot, dip the right hip towards the ground, left arm back. And we're just gonna find this graceful flow between that and Skandasana. Next time you're in your lunge twist, come back to your lunge and find pigeon. And really keep those breaths big, expansive, and open. Exhale, steady, grounded Ujjayi. Another good introspection here is where do I play it safe in life? Where am I staying comfortable? Even if it's a comfortable prison. Big, big, beautiful breath. Ujjayi. Start to rise out, wiggle it out, vinyasa if you want to. We're going to find puppy from here. We're going to rise up a little bit more into the heart space. Walk the hands forward. Melt the heart down. Either the chin can come down if you're feeling like you need more opening through the throat chakra, or you can ground down through the forehead and the third eye. Slide right onto the belly in Sphinx pose. The hips come forward and down. And really push the elbows down so you feel this lift. It's almost like the sense of regalness here, if you will. Right ear drips to the right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And again, rising up here. Go side to side. You might even eventually take full circles. And if you want to take full circles, you could take those counterclockwise movements first. That always symbolizes releasing, letting go. And the clockwise movement brings in and invites that abundance. And we'll soften down, find crocodile, stack the hands, rest the forehead down. Feel that grounding and support to the front body as you're breathing. And fill up so full that you bring this lightness and the openness now to the back body. This is everything we've journeyed through. This life, past lives, if you believe that. It's carried here on the back body. It's our backbone. And it's part of why we're strong and resilient. But sometimes we carry things here that weigh us down. And let your breath and your intention help you free up any entanglements, any past things that are not serving your highest good anymore. And we're going to go ahead and lift the head just a little bit off the ground and bring the hands out wide. We're going to set up for some funky cobras here. So just the fingertips are tented, elbow tips are up. Lift the right leg, lower it. Lift the left leg, lower it. And just really ground yourself down through the tops of your feet, through the front of the pelvis and the hips, and root and engage the lower body and the back body. Tuck the chin. And you're lifting from like the back of the head where it meets your neck and your shoulder blades in the back of your heart. And you lift on an inhale, and it's a wave. Pay attention to the ripple up. Head tips up last. Exhale, you try to gaze up as you begin the descent down. And then the chin tucks last. And you're going to lift and lower in your own way. You don't have to come up as high as I come up. You do what feels good for you. And you might play a little here. What does it feel like to bring the hands just a tiny bit closer together? What does it feel like to bring them further apart? What does it feel like to bring them slightly back or slightly forward? We have to stay curious and open to different experiences so that we can find the path that we're meant to journey on. Next time you lower, we're going to melt right into a heart opener. So the right arm can come straight out to the right, or you can choose to bend the elbow. You're going to melt that right side of the face down and slowly make your way onto your right side. If you want to step that left foot back behind you, you can. Just keep trying to draw your left hip back behind you, left knee behind you. Holding your awareness here on that right side of your heart. We get grounding here, stabilizing energy through the earth. And we're opening up that wingspan so that we can fly. ready, you're on the belly again. And very slowly, you make your way into the shape on the other side. I don't know if this is something other people reflect on often or if it's just me, but I often think about what I'm gonna think if I get the privilege to grow old and be an old lady one day. And I'm close to that grand transition where I leave the earth and I look back on my life. How am I gonna feel? How did I live? Do I have regrets? Are there things that I wish I did? And it brings a different energy, a different perspective into my life in the present moment to make sure I'm living as fully as I can. Onto the belly when you're ready. It's an exhale that softens you there. And we'll press back to child's pose. And we'll wrap the arms around the legs so that the hands are coming towards the feet. You might even be able to hold the feet. And again, you might notice how just perfectly you fit within yourself. Bring your dream into your forefront of your awareness again. And slowly rise to sit on the heels. We're going to sit for a couple moments here. And we're going to start by wrapping the arms around ourselves and giving ourselves a hug. You might even bow the head a little bit. And really just offer yourself love, support, safety, assurance. Again, we're going to find this ebb and flow between this and the expansion and the trust and the faith and the flying. So take a big breath in, and your arms are going to be like your wings as you're opening up. Elbow tips are pulling back behind you. There's a slight bend there in the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, tip the gaze up. And then wrap and hug. And again, there's this cat-cow movement through your spine. But focus on the energy here that these two postures can offer you. And you might rotate opposite arm on top each time you hug. Next time you wrap and hug, just pause. Whisper within yourself, and I love you. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. The hands soften down to the earth. Just the finger pads. Inhale, floats your left arm up. Exhale, lean to the right. And we'll go back and forth really slow here. Expanding here into the side body. That's our symbolism for the present moment. For living right here, right now. It's the only thing that's real. One more time, side to side. And then we're going to sit on the mat, facing the windows. Let your left leg extend out to the left. Bend through the right knee. Right heel close to the right inner thigh. Find your length first. Sit up really tall. And then we'll start to side bend. So we're keeping the side bodies the focus here as we then start to lean more towards that left leg. The right arm might come straight up. It can come over the head if that feels okay. Rise up and pause just in Sukhasana. So you're just going to bring your other foot in to meet you. And you're just sitting in a comfortable cross-leg posture for a moment. Hands on the lap, eyes closed. Our dreams and our hopes and all that will always stay out of reach, just out of reach. We take a step towards them and they move further into the future unless we take aligned action steps. So that's what's in the control of present moment. What can we do right now? So contemplate that, your dream. What is the tiniest, smallest, most simple step that you can take today or this week to bring you closer to it? Take a big breath in. Ujjayi out. Set yourself up for the side bend on the other side. The right, the right leg. Find the length and the space and the lift first, and then you start to lean yourself in. We'll come up, and this time instead of Sukhasana, you'll bring both the feet to plant, the knees bend, and you're just going to wrap the arms softly around the legs and bow the head. The head might end up making it to rest on the knees. And again, bring to mind now the action steps that you can take, that aligned action. This is where on new moons we set intentions. Okay, what are your intentions towards that vision that you hold in your heart? These are commitments that you're making to yourself right now. Breathe into that. Slowly let the head lift and softly pivot so that the legs can extend straight on your mat towards the top. And if you want a softer style fold here, instead of the traditional legs straight, you could bend the knees. This is another notice how we fit into ourselves type of thing. And your armpits can make it into your knees, and your hands would wrap around your feet and you would just soften the head down. It's a very different feeling. Not better or worse, but if you want to find that variation today, you can find it. And here in this fold, again, we express gratitude. Gratitude is a big part of the whole process here that we're moving through. Grateful for everything we've journeyed through. Grateful for where we are. Just expressing that within yourself now. Slowly rise and come all the way onto the back. Right into a full body stretch. Let the right knee come to the chest, left hand greets it, and we find twist. Guide the right leg over to the left, right arm out to the right. Starting to let everything empty out here. This is where we just release it all. In the highest, most optimal timeline, for the highest good of all. Soften everything. And find peace within yourself in this moment. And exhale softens you onto the back, full body stretch. Inhale helps you reach, take up space. Exhale, the right hand and the left knee meet. And bring you into your twist. Exhale onto the back. Full body stretch. And Shavasana. As always, if there's final movements calling to you first, take some time and honor that. Here that we enter into the bliss body, the timeless, the boundless, expansive and free. Just rest in that loving awareness. Awareness to the tips of the nostrils, and simply watch how the breath passes through that space. Very slowly, very sweetly, deepen your breathing. Wiggles through fingers and toes help to wake the body back up. And gently rolling over and resting on one side. Gratitude here for yourself, for whatever else you're most grateful for. Eyes stay closed or gaze stay soft as you journey up to sit.
Hands come to the heart. Bow the mind to the heart. Take a big breath in. Sigh. Palms pressed together. While the love from the heart connects up to the higher self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with deep gratitude and honoring that we bow to ourselves, to each other, to the practice. Namaste.
Namaste.